pool. It has a 17-5 score. So very, very powerful hero.
Yep.
In this tournament.
You were disgusted when you saw it.
It's a big word, but if I could pick a singular hero in Dota to not let through the draft, it would be this one. I just think it does so much. It has the lane flexibility. I'll look at a fight here first, potentially.
Sure will. Baboka, he's already low. Gets the ice shards off. No snowball to work with, and he's first blooded. GPK pops the fairy fire, dies before Beyond. As Kataomi getting low as well, but the bigger kill coming out. But what does this end up being here as the silencer drops in addition? Kiritich, blood grenade. Not often you see the blood grenade kill somebody just outright immediately.
I don't know if I've ever seen that play before. TP into killing instantly with blood grenade. Feels like a slam dunk, you know. That's funny. Well,
so a 3 for 3. I think first blood went to BetBoom if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Beyond already getting gone on here in the top lane. This is an off lane Viper, which we'll get to in just a moment, and that moment has come.
Yep. Off lane Viper, ladies and gentlemen. The Viper is in the off lane. I mean, they picked it as a response to TA. They were hoping to lane it against her and make her game difficult, but then now that you end up playing into Weaver Naga, I don't think Viper is particularly good against this lane, so you're still going to get some farm, but you're not going to crush the carry. And this, largely, when you put in the offlane, is picked as an anti-carry.
Dave looks to be dead here. Rain drain for Ollie. Yarrow playing one of his best heroes, the Beastmaster.
This is definitely Yakult's best lane on paper, though, is the Kunkka Silencer against Beast plus Windranger. I think this should be lane that they are expected to win. The carry Kunkka has been doing very well this tournament. A lot of good matchups. With the level advantage that these two had, they were making quick work of it on to save. He was 1 CS away from getting wind run, and he probably would have lived, but not going to happen. And in mid, I was talking about this. So GPK on this hero, fundamentally, BetBoom will be playing the game differently when GPK plays TA than when he plays, let's say, something like a Kunkka. But I think the upside for BetBoom is that they have a lot of experience playing with GPK on greedier heroes, whereas, say, some other teams want to flex away their TA onto mid, and maybe their mid players like a Spirit Specialist. You know, like you wouldn't put Emo on TA. He can play it, but it's not their identity as a team in this tournament. So that little extra flex that BetBoom have gives them a big advantage in this draft. Is it forced out a Viper pick, or baited out rather, and the response not necessarily too inspiring here from the side of the Yakult brothers. Talked about the innate as well, TA. Of course, being able to know when Roshan spawns.
True.
At a pro level, this becomes increasingly more important, as a lot of strategic decisions are made around uncertainty around Rosh, and you will just know every time.
Yeah.
You can plan it perfectly, you can make the gank that you need.
Would you rather that be, I know you don't like the concept, would you rather that be on a hero that sucks at taking Rosh? There's no actual sense in that being part of it. Is Baboka fighting for the Lotus, as Beyond doing a lot of damage to Kiritich. He has to be careful. He doesn't have Shakuchi, he's just dead. As Baboka will win the battle.
I think he had a lot of one charges. You get that from laning against Weaver. Nice grab there for the side of Yakult. They really thought they were going to win that fight, but Naga Siren doesn't really necessarily do that much damage. The one deluge. I don't know if he was level 3 at the time.
Oh, is he dead? My goodness. The wind run actually killed him. Oh boy. It's Baboka. Still on low HP from that earlier engagement, but will live.
It's just a good start from Yakult.
Yeah.
It's
I want to ask you a question about Viper, though.
For them this game.
So Viper, you said, was picked to try to counteract the TA, which was lane switch and whatnot. The only time that we've seen Viper has been, there's an obvious break, right, with the Viper strike. How good, I know it's not traditional, how good is it against GPK with the Psyblades? I mean, you can't fight, surely, right?
Yeah, it's not bad. I guess you'd lose the attack range too, right? While you're broken.
I mean, I would assume so, but
all of the aspects of it, that's interesting.
Dire structures are fortified.
It's likely to have a decent impact, but I mean, either way, you want to Viper strike him all game, right? But even if there was nothing to break, he would still be your target because you want to remove his attack speed. And cripple him and take off his barrier.
Yeah.
It's a good point. Side blades, of course, are so much better than they were a couple of years ago. Skill has just been upgraded over and over and over again. Yeah, for Yakult, they end up not getting the lane matchup they wanted with the Viper against TA, but that one kill he gets on Kiritich is actually very big for Beyond now. Viper very much a knife's edge kind of hero, where if you're ahead in the laning stage, you can compound the advantage and really get ahead, but if you die once or twice, you can just fall completely flat. So him getting that singular kill is definitely very good news. Oh, Fly actually going to miss the
arrow.
Cleave.
He's going to tick out. Fly get gets credit for that one. Power shot onto 2. Save. Won't be able to finish anyone, although Fly getting really low, so the next power shot in 5 seconds. You can snipe this out. 2, 1, and he's gonna go for it. Whoa, way off.
What's
vision of him too.
Going on the creeps?
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is not feeling the love.
Interesting. Is he actually gonna die here?
Oh my god.
Gotcha. Oh my god, dude.
BetBoom, what doing?
It was showing on the creep wave. It was in clear vision, wasn't it?
I think so. It can be a little bit deceptive when we're watching it from a spectator POV, but I would have thought he was close enough to the creeps.
Needs a hand.
Maybe anticipating that the Kunkka would go for a juke, so he was trying to shoot behind him, but he shot very far behind him.
He has blink dagger. I don't know. That was pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
A rough start for Save on a hero that he's looked incredibly stable on this tournament, the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah.
Save is...
Okay, let's have a look here. He's absolutely in range of their vision. He thought he was... Okay, when he started channeling was exactly when Fly turned around. It was unfortunate.
Middle tower is
so just
under
bad
attack.
luck then.
Yeah. Or well played by Fly. A bit of both.
Worse live, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Save in the world... top 5 supports. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah, I agree.
This guy's so good. They will get a nice D-ward. As we get into the Wisdom Shrine battle. Boca. I see some illusions here. Looks like we'll just be given, though, as the other side, GPK, finds a Fly Kunkka, which would be a huge kill for them. It's slowed, but I don't see them catching up here. So ends up being a trade of the shrines.
They will let Nero take this, so one of the supports on BetBoom, which is Save, will be quite underleveled.
I mean, his level 6 is not very important at all.
I really love this choice, specifically with Wind Ranger. I think it's the least important level 6 in the entire game for supports. You don't even skill Focus Fire a lot of the time anyway.
Yeah.
So it's 1 extra point in Shackle Shot or whatever. The bigger part about getting level 6 on Wind Ranger, honestly, is getting closer to level 7. Kind of strange.
Oh, a snowball onto Kiritich. Blocked as well. Yeah, he used it aggressively, so a second death for the Weaver. This is going to hurt BetBoom in this early stages of the game. 1K lead right now for Yakult. XP definitely in their advantage.
Israel was talking about this on the panel, how Yakult is pretty limited in its team fight aspect. The way you compensate for that is if you do well in lanes, you can itemize your way out of pure lackluster. Like, let's say your team fight isn't the best, but you have a gold lead, you get an extra Orchid or something to effectively disrupt enemy team fight, therefore making yours better. But the kind of start they have, they're not going to buy Orchid on any of their heroes except maybe on Emo. It's more like the concept of this early advantage can be transformed into solving problems that otherwise, let's say the lanes were even, you as a team would be hesitant to take a specific type of fight that could now potentially be unlocked. Reel in
right now. Shackle Shot.
He should be dead.
Beyond. He's going to get the Viper Strike off as reinforcements have arrived. Weaver wants to take him out. He will time-lapse back to safety. As Baboka gets a nice snowball onto Kataomi.
Hello.
They get the 2 supports.
Thanks for playing Dota 2.
The 4 goes down on the Yakult side.
That's that Viper advantage. If the early laning stage did not go this well, he's not going to be that tanky and delay that fight for as long as he did. But with Tread, double Wraithband, and Blade of Alacrity, he has really high armor. These right-clicking heroes, such as Weaver, with the Deluge from Naga, it just takes really long.
Feeling the love.
And of course, that's the thing about Deluge. Just doesn't give minus armor anymore. So synergy isn't as obvious as it used to be between these two heroes. You had minus armor on this is the quite old Naga by now. Minus armor version.
Yeah, this one's kind of weird.
It caps their movement speed, but Viper doesn't care because he didn't try to run. He's just standing there like, all right.
Dire are scanning.
Flyfly had the talisman of evasion on his courier, which is now killed. He's going to get roared. The boat's coming out, though. He is completely surrounded. He even had that, whatever that neutral is called, giving them extra damage. You can hear every single proc going off as GPK takes him out.
Dire's top tower is
that's 3 of it.
Radiant's top rubble.
Interesting. I guess they really want to run that when they have Beastmaster and Naga illusions.
Ripper's Lash versus Chipper.
Yeah.
There's 3 Chippers on the other side.
Chip versus Rip.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 1.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
In the meantime,
Back to a 1K lead.
Looking to get the trade-off at top, which should bring the gold back up to 2K again. But I don't know if they can finish this here. No wave.
I don't know if you noticed, but Baboka ended up in the enemy side with where the bounties were. Took 3 bounties earlier.
Oh.
That's like 750 overall net worth that they ended up getting.
Yeah.
So actually is mattering a bit here, it feels like. Working on the Witchblade, of course. And from his perspective, I feel like the only question mark when it comes to the builds on Storm Spirits is how fast do you get BKB or whatever type of Dispel.
And whether you get Witchblade or Work It first. That's also sometimes a consideration. I think in this game, it's fine to go for the Witchblade. You just want high output. You want to make sure you can kill the heroes when you get the jump. You already have Global Silence as well, so it can be maybe a little bit too much overkill in that department.
Here pitch, Global Silence, the zip.
Too easy.
He's dead.
You got to be really careful to go and hit creeps on half HP in this game, on any hero. Only hero that can somewhat reliably do it is TA with Refraction running. Otherwise, you could just get globaled and storm jump, just as we saw there.
Yeah, well, GPK on that TA, first pick overall, top net worth in the game. This course not so great. The real end with the shackle shot. This is going to be the death of Baboka.
That was a really nice shackle.
Didn't look like that should have.
Well, he cast it from the creep onto the hero, right? He found the angle from the left side.
Radiant's middle tower. Radiant structures are fortified.
Nice. Yeah, this has been quite possibly Kiritич's worst start to any game this tournament. Curious to see him
we should also
try to recover this.
Close one. Should also mention Miero. He's not exactly super farmed on the Beastmaster.
True.
Usually gets off to a much better start than this. He'd go for the Helm of the Dominator, so not the Ags build-up. And the Helm of the Overlord will be soon coming out. How much pressure can they really put on Yakult at the moment? It feels like you need a Blink Dagger on the Beast.
Yeah.
Don't really have much initiation without that.
I mean, you could also look at it from the alternative perspective. How much pressure do they need to put on you? As long as you're scaling all 3 of your cores, I think your especially support Naga can be a massive asset in this game. If he can get to a point where he has a removal of silence, like the panel was talking about, going Greaves, actually going Glimmer first, which I kind of disagree with here for that exact reason. If he has Greaves, he can just remove Global and use Song of the Siren, and that becomes an infinitely better save than a singular Glimmer cape is. So I would really like to see that. Of course, I'm not going to say the Glimmer is bad, because it isn't. It counters a lot of different stuff here. He's
GPK.
Massive in this one.
Oh, he spots out the smoke. Nice, he breaks up everything, gets the Blink Dagger off, wants to go for Ollie. The Global Silence coming out. The rest of his team is nearby. GPK is melting, gets punched into the air. Still technically alive, and the Song of the Siren to save GPK. Will Refraction TP out? The rest of his team wants to fight. Throws a beautiful shackle shot. Storm Spirit dead. A big boat comes in, though, from Flyfly. Deletes 2 heroes. Miero and his Triceratops, though, continuing to fight. Kiritич gets brought back with the X. And double kill for Flyfly. Now it's Miero against the world. Even as Triceratops has fallen. Slow to a crawl, has another Axis to work with. Will use it as
comes
GPK. Yeah, he comes in. Let's be careful with Beyond, though.
Yeah.
Now the Radiant's online for Fly. I thought he actually had it for this fight, but a little bit off.
I wonder if that was a mistake from GPK to TP out. I understand he was on 2% health, but he had Refraction running, and they had a really good 2-hero Shackle shot.
Yeah.
If he's a part of that play instead of TPing away, they chose to fight regardless.
It's possible. It's tough to say.
It was a 4v4. Viper wasn't there either, so in terms of numbers, it's just such a big part of BetBoom's lineup is having TA deal damage. So PK TPing out there, you could have disengaged fully then if you wanted to. It's not, by no means was that a disaster, of course, but it did turn into a bit of a win for Yakult that was probably avoidable.
Yeah.
In either of the other two versions.
The biggest issue for BetBoom is Kiritich, bottom net worth on the core side of things. He has 5 deaths already in this game.
This hero with 5 deaths early is just such an anomaly. This doesn't happen to Weaver. Make it 6?
Yeah, possibly. Time lapse. They have the vision. They have the stun. There's no Song of the Siren to work with. They're turning it around, though. They take out Emo. The ensnare. Very clutch from Kataomi, and Kiritich will live. Double kill for GPK.
Easy bait, never doubted.
Yep, no doubt about it. Kataomi chasing Ollie now. The trap. Let's slow him. GPK will misses once. Does he have his sister's underwear? I think so.
Yeah.
Triple kill for GPK.
I like that. Let's start calling it that. Instead of Sister Shroud, it's called his sister's underwear. That's very good. Get on board with that. Here comes Roche. TA with amp damage and Desto. Put a little bit of a swarm in there for good measure if you want. Here comes. So they're going to get this. That's such a massive turnaround on Kiritich, and Jay was talking about this on the panel. The Dire lineup, if you win a fight, you just get objectives. Push fast, they kill towers, they take Roche. Within their reach, and now okay, about to get the shard, which will be massive in this game. You're playing against Storm, playing against Tusk.
Well, they want to try to burn the Aegis. Kataomi with the song, though. GPK is actually, oh my god, he almost dies. Through the nether toxin. That is insane, the amount of damage.
And Kataomi will also get out with a Glimmer. This should probably cost them a tower, so this wasn't all in vain for Yakult, but they would have loved to get the Aegis in addition.
Dire's middle tower is full.
With that still in hand now for GPK, maybe BetBoom will be eager to fight back.
Tower has
Not like Yakult committed anything, though, so for all the numbers.
So, on the Viper, since it's the most unique hero, looks like Hurricane Pike, and that's it. What do you want to see on this hero?
Wait, this is new, right? Hang on. It's new that you can X mark the Overlord creep, isn't it?
You can?
Yeah, because it's a creep hero.
Huh.
So now Fly actually killed the Overlord creep by Xing it twice.
Huh.
I don't know, that looked unusual to me, so I'm gonna say that's new. Such a random niche interaction.
Well, they're gonna find the Ancient Prowler, most famous for rooting enemies and being a green card in Artifact.
Miro literally just took that, sent it straight back to Fly and let him kill it again. He just got 500 gold.
You do have to be careful.
Right. Got it. You also lose a bit of farm efficiency. Not too much.
Dire's top
I
tower.
have an idea that Emo is here. It's hard to pick him up though. 1800 into his BKB to come. GPK 2100 into his. Fly. Off the boat. Think slowed. And GPK making his way over the global silence. The Tusk snowball. They don't want to go in apparently. That was a retreat snowball. He's going to get ensnared for his troubles. Taken out swiftly. The rest get out though. For sure they're going to try to turn that, but probably for the best.
Yeah, that was a little bit awkward. So they started with the roar, and then they TP in the TA. So she's not doing damage during the roar. The connection does happen, but they only get the support kill. Still, it's something for BetBoom. They retain control of their half of the map.
I wanted to bring something up. I think it's an interesting conversation. And I'm not saying I don't understand why, but you know how Tiny plays mid as like this utility a lot of times? I feel like we never see, like, let's say somebody's having a hard game like this Weaver. I have to hold that thought. He's X'd, might be having a harder game here pretty soon. Snowballed up. Uses the Essence Ring.
He has Manta and time lapse.
He does. You say that. He's half HP. There's the song. He dies. Literally 3 seconds after Synderen said he cannot die.
All right. Do you want me to put the asterisk here, or is it implied?
You have to use the Manta.
Of course he can die if he jumps into 5 heroes. He was already out with Shukuchi, and then he ran into them.
Yeah.
Thought he was safe. I mean, he absolutely was fine if he ran away, but he ran in and kind of got caught off guard. You can see the frustration here on Kiritich's face, not having the best game of his life here. 2-6 now. I can understand from his perspective why he thought he could get away with that. Specifically, you have Manta, you have ult. You just need to get one off. You will get off the other. They found the perfect chaining of stuns from Yakult, and you're welcome for the curse, of course.
Yeah,
anytime.
Incredible.
So you were saying about going utility if you're having a bad game. On which hero?
Well, so, like, look at Weaver. Having a really, really bad game, right? That thought again, Synderen, the arrow.
Holding it.
Gets off the roar. Looks like another creep bites the dust. He'll get out, though. And you have... So you're playing Weaver as a position 1. You're having a really bad game, and it's hard for this hero to get back into the game, I feel like. You have TA... You're both kind of the same thing. Your physical damage. You can almost play this like a Weaver utility, going like Ags, you know, all this weird stuff. It's not the same hero as Tiny. I know.
Right.
I feel like there's got to be some angle there that makes a little bit of sense, you know?
If you have enough damage in the other heroes, you could technically pivot.
Getting chased by Kiritich. At Omi. Ensnare. The snowball will come first. He's going to be brought back into the arms of the rest of BetBoom, who still have the Aegis, by the way. We actually forgot about that. Feels like haven't really been fighting.
Yeah, they didn't really get to use it. It's running out now for GPK. They did get the Tormentor as well. Went over to Kataomi, so get the upgraded Song of the Siren. I think they would have much rather had Gale Force for free. Or Ol Save, we'll have to buy that one.
Radiant's
Naga is getting farmed, working on those Greaves on the way.
Radiant fortified their structures. Pretty good move, if you ask me.
This feels like a game where you could absolutely justify Greaves into Lotus. I think having both Dispels is completely fine. You can Dispel yourself with the Greaves and then an ally with the Lotus. It's also good.
Or GPK actually gets to the high ground. E-Blade, or Ethereal, onto the Silencer to stay alive. Emo, focusing all his pressure onto the Glimmered Miero. Doesn't have vision any longer. GPK with the BKB and running away. Kataomi. His images, but that is all he's going to do this fight. Dead, and Song just came up after that, too. Unfortunate timing. His save getting pursued even further. Nice shackle onto 2. This Storm is out of mana right now. There's not much follow-up because both supports dead for BetBoom. Another X. Kiritich. Is this going to happen again? Time lapse is a little bit early. The TPs are coming from 5 back on the winner, but they lose the Weaver. My goodness, this is a very messy fight. Roar now onto Kiritich. Right click from GPK, but he's getting controlled now. He's getting extremely low. No Aegis to work with any longer. Down goes GPK. Just a very discombobulated fight from BetBoom. Didn't feel like they were on the same page at all.
Yeah, I think disaster is maybe a little bit too big of a word, but that was definitely not great for them.
Middle tower is under attack.
Starting to see a little bit of the problem here with the Weaver's early laning stage. Not only is he still getting killed, but he also had to itemize. Like, is he not doing damage? Manta, Falcon Blade, Dragonlance. GPK has to kill the heroes. Nobody else is going to do it. This game, we're going well on the Weaver. You're looking at a much stronger inventory right now with some sort of critical strike. Maybe he could have bought a Deso and GPK could have... I guess you have to buy... Probably.
So back to my topics.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the Weaver went full utility. It would be even worse. Like, they would just not be able to kill anyone. Yeah. I think...
Okay.
I just think it's... But on a conceptual level, there will be specific heroes and specific situations where what you're saying is possible. I don't think it would work this game on Weaver. I think GPK, you cannot expect your TA to kill this lineup on itself. On its own. You need... especially with the Viper counter matchup, you have to have a second.
So now there, for Beyond. Is it going to get Atos onto the Tusk? Shackle. Could be a kill here. Beyond forcing the rest out. Kiritich with Manta, Dragonlance, and that's it at the moment. Suffering big time.
He's going to start building into Crystallis because Deso is off the table when TA already has it. That begs the question if you should have rushed Maelstrom and tried to get farmed.
True. Black Dragon is ganked. Miro, another creep bites the dust. 250 gold.
They've killed 5 of his Ancients now. That's up.
It adds up to a gem for Ollie.
Dire's
Will likely be put on emo.
Attack.
Yeah, they tend to do this.
Is not feeling the love.
Allow him to reliably stick on top of the Weaver, deal with the meld. Obviously, de-ward. Not saying, but we'll say it anyway.
Roche can spawn at any time. Of course, BetBoom knows whenever that Roche is.
Oh, he missed.
Swarm comes out, going to connect on 2. Save. They get the Atos. They're going to continue to try to go on top of Beyond. It's going to cost Save his life, but if they can get this Viper, it's going to be worth it. Hurricane Pike, though, from Beyond. He's way far away. Heritage cannot catch up any longer.
Just yet another instance where you see the Weaver damage issue, right? That, under normal circumstances, is absolutely a Viper kill. But not hitting for anything.
Creep bites the dust. Do you think this maybe was a game for Beast to go Ags?
No, not really. I think what Miro did was correct for the game. It was it's obviously
Dire's middle tower.
Certain things that you do, you can end up regretting because of the way the game plays out. But you're not in control of, as Beastmaster, of how your top lane goes.
Tower is under attack.
It's just bits and misses this game. BetBoom have made mistakes they don't characteristically make. The top lane went very poorly. And Yakult have taken full advantage of that. If Miro would have gone Axe instead, then you're effectively all in on the damage and don't have the utility and the push that would have been great to have if things were going according to plan.
Right.
But it's always easy in hindsight to be like, oh, my carry did poorly, I should have carried. It's kind of a logical fallacy that people fall into this trap a lot in pub games as well.
And I think the reason I bring it up is just because, you have these games where you're going really well, and the supports kind of turn to carries, or the carry supports like the Slarks end up buying so much utility they're ridiculously farmed. It's you never really see those switch ups when you're behind, right? It's just set in stone. I'm the 1, you're the 2.
Right.
Where maybe in some scenarios, it's probably rare though, to be fair, that maybe it would make more sense to switch it up.
It's easier to pivot from a support into a core than vice versa. Inside the game itself, when you're already assigned an amount of farm early. This would be a really big grab. Oh, yeah. Yakult is meant to be BetBooms with their lineup. They will not get it. They'll trade it for a tier 2 tower. Kataomi knew this was happening. He might have walked over and tried to do a cute song steal, but not going to happen. Aegis now for Fly. Thought it was going on emo.
He's a 4K net worth advantage over number 2, which is GPK.
I think this is the first TA I have seen not be top net worth.
Radiant's bottom tower needs a hand.
It's
Kiritich. Uh-oh. He cannot afford to die here.
He doesn't have Manta ready.
Tempting to TP out. He's just going to die. So another death to the Weaver's name. Kiritich, number 8.
Oh, don't tell me he's buying BKB now. No. He bought the Mithril Hammer. He's going to do...
Looks like it.
All right, that's there it is. The ZDPS carry officially has come to Dota. He also doesn't have his shard. He didn't buy that. It was 28 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's a lot to wish for here. Just
maybe
not
he'll get it
game.
on Tormentor someday.
Yeah.
He actually would be in contention to get it if they took out the Tormentor. Save and Kataomi both have theirs.
Yeah. It's tough. Playing Weaver from this far behind is just major challenge. The reason the net worth lead is only 3K is because Kataomi has so much on the Naga Siren.
Yeah.
Good, but can he convert his net worth into damage?
You said it's easier to turn a support into a carry, Cinder.
Yeah, in theory, if the Naga were to do it now and transition into a core and the game went late enough, this could win them the game. Because this is technically a game that carry Naga can actually do quite a lot in. You're only really worried about the Kunkka and a bit of maybe some AoE Storm Spirit damage. But the road,
a long way away.
The road is long. So there.
Look at this lead. It's 4K only. This is not really massive.
It is, though, because of how much of this gold is on the Naga, right? Like, how much bang for your buck are you getting from your 11K net worth Naga Siren? Your Song of the Siren that heals, it's 1,400 of it. And then you have some defensive utility items. But you just don't kill heroes right now. You have to get there. BetBoom need to... I think they need to play keep away for a while and find a way to either get GPK to critical mass or somehow bring Kiritich into the game. Good news for them is that the Radiant don't push very fast.
Got the Omi gets gone on. Trying to lay their stuns here. He's dead.
He's worth quite a bit because of his net worth. That's a decent kill. 700 gold right there. 1K gold swing killing the enemy 4 at 30 minutes. Very nice.
1.5 minutes on the Aegis. And there is only one tier 2 in the bottom lane. If they try to poke the high ground, their push... Well, they have Viper Shard, so it actually is fine.
It's okay. It takes some time to ramp up, but definitely that is the way they can do it. I think this fight is incredibly difficult for BetBoom. Let's see if they can pull it off. This 2-life Kunkka with Satanic, they have the damage.
Gale Force, the Roach's banner down. They're going to start things out onto the Kunkka. Half HP. Well, Satanic. It's a little bit of HP back. Atos now. A long poke as Beyond will be able to claim the tier 3.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
There's the zip in emo.
Oh, that's a good shackle.
Okay, shackle onto 2. Where's the follow-up? Nothing, just a swarm.
It did force out the ghost ship, though. This might be disengage time for your Yakult soon.
You can try to burn this Aegis. That's what it's all about. Another beautiful shackle onto 2. The double power shot. They're going to be able to get the arrow to the initiation onto Beyond. He's dead. Fly. Looks like he's going to be reeled into their base. That's going to be life number 1. And now he's separated from his team. On the backside, Kiritich does get off the time lapse. Fly, he's still something to fear, despite not having anybody near him. He's going to pop the BKB. His emo focusing now onto GPK. Gets off the refraction, though. And there's the song to try to save him, but Fly has the BKB along with emo, and they burn through GPK in the end. Emo, though, he's out of mana. He gets dropped, and that shackle shot again from save as Fly. He's left to his own devices as the silencer's going to fall next. Can he stay alive here? Doesn't have the BKB. It's all about the chase. Kiritich, he'll have chase for days with this Shikuchi. As Kataomi with the Greaves allows him to use the ensnare again. And now save with, feels like his 20th shackle in this fight alone. And Fly, you can see how hard he is to take down. Gets off the boat on top of all of that, but the power shot finishes the job, and BetBoom somehow win the fight.
Holy shit, save is good on this here.
They lose 1 life. That's crazy. They killed 6.
That was a true support.
Every shackle felt like it was on 2 heroes.
Just a full-on support show. Every Gale Force, every shackle shot, everything landed from save back to back to back to back there. They needed it too, is the crazy part. If he doesn't play this fight as like a 10 out of 10, but an 8 out of 10, they lose barracks. Like, that had to be perfect, and it was. So, hats off, and they find the right opening. And on top of that, Yakult messed up a little bit, right? They go for the Viper with the shackle shot. They burn the roar on him, and somehow Baboka did not get him in the snowball fast enough. He blinked in, cast snowball, didn't pick him up. They globaled after the roar came out. You know, that left a little bit to be desired for Yakult. So both teams, BetBoom, perhaps you could say performing a little bit better than you could have expected there, and Yakult a little bit worse. And that's the cocktail it takes to break the entire lead down now. The biggest winner in all of this is Weaver. He gets to start playing soon.
Another roar. Global silence, but the Tusk is already dead. Beyond wants to try to take advantage of this silence timing. Emo jumps in onto save the BKB TP for Miero. That means they'll have to settle for the support. Of course, the support is what destroyed them in that last fight. Yeah, likely will feel very good for Emo, but global silence down.
Tower is under attack.
This allows Kiritich. I mean, he stayed alive in that fight, so...
Yeah, the BKB paid off.
He's only 1,000 behind the Storm now.
Yeah, he's...
Looks like he's going to finish the Daedalus before getting short. Is that...
Looks like it.
I mean, well, is Tormentor up? I mean, that could be something that they prioritize.
It is up.
Like
Top half.
Radiant
It would be great for them to get it. Absolutely.
Yeah, if he gets to 50-50, it's going to be huge for his game.
I would say the ideal thing to do here is if you can kill the Tormentor, and then if you get the shard, perfect. If you don't, you snap by it. I think you want this for the next fight, and if you... Or rather, also just for the downtime. It's just such a feels-good item on this hero, but... Okay, he just ended up buying it regardless. I didn't even try for the Tormentor first. Now he has it.
No, Tormentor's bottom now, right?
Yep.
So... AC now online for Miero.
Yeah, he's starting to really hurt.
He's in the top 3.
He's quietly just had a very stable game. He's 5-1 and 5.
So, what are your thoughts on Viper scaling? Because back in the day, it was trash.
Yeah.
Then the 25 talent, which made you universal, made him good all of a sudden in like extreme late game. And now they've gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
Back to trash late game?
No, it's never going to be trash, but I still think it's much more of an anti-carry than an actual carry now, right?
Finds the punch onto save. But there's the Gale Force. He's going to be blocked up by the shards. X back into the arms of the rest of Yakult.
Yeah, I think you're playing a lot on... He is going a carry build, right? He's going the Scotty, Manta, Pike. It just should not be as strong as what you were used to seeing from the Universal version in late game. Trash is a big word, but...
No, well, it's only a few letters, you know?
It's like... It's okay. The main thing is getting off a good Viper Strike and then being able to stick on the target.
Ancient Prowler. All his ancestors have been just massacred by Fly as they've knocked on these sting. I wonder, what if you killed a certain amount of them, become extinct for the rest of the game? And that creep just stops spawning entirely.
Yeah, we should have that for neutral camps.
Yeah,
in general. They should just stop spawning.
Miero, big roar. The silence is going to do nothing. Emo just gets insta-gibbed. That was such a short amount of time.
Yeah, this is becoming quite awkward now for Yakult with the way the lanes are pushed out. All 3 waves are now crossing the river. You're playing against TA traps. You're playing against a Beastmaster that can just jump you from fog and kill you. You can get caught by Naga. You can get caught by Shackle. Everyone on BetBoom poses a kill threat, and you do not have any map control. Now Yakult needs to be very careful. You saw the Storm test the waters there and get blown up. You're going to lose the Roche as well. This is enormous. They will maybe buy back.
The Nether Toxin inside. Yeah, he does have the buyback onto Emo. Gale Force. Fly jumps in pretty deep. Triceratops about to die as well. There's the silence, or the song from Kataomi, which will allow GPK to get the Aegis and all the goodies, and everybody will exit. Other than the Triceratops, who was left alone. Sad thing has died again.
Wow, what a great Roshing lineup. You have a hero that can see when it spawns, and you have a hero that can sleep the entire enemy team if they come to contest. So that's really...
Yeah.
That's really rich.
But you have to be out of range of Roche, right? Because you sleep Roche, don't you?
Not anymore, right?
Is that what they changed?
Wait, now am I remembering this wrong? Was he... Did he do perfect spacing there on Kataomi? Because they did kill the Roche while he was singing, right?
Yeah, they did. Kataomi getting chased. X brings him back. He's going to pop the Greaves, but will drop. 2 seconds. Does have buyback here, though, if they really need to expand it. As Kiritich getting gone on by Emo. Well, time lapse. Swarm off. It's just a 1v1 right now, so Kiritich get back to base. Global Silence used again as Beyond wants to push, and they're not going to use the Global for anything. Guess they use it for Fly to get away. He's going to Satanic back on yet another creep from Miero. He is their sugar daddy this game. And imagine how much gold that they have gained on his creeps alone. And they're going to attempt high ground again, despite not having the Aegis. Jan will focus on the range barracks first. We'll get it.
Dyer's middle
Gale
barracks.
Torso. Oh, they got Shackle as well. That's a lot of damage on the GPK. That's life number 1 for him. Here just gets off the time lapse in time, along with the BKB. Might have to go heal, though. And Beyond doing quite a bit to GPK. They're going to force out his BKB now. It faces out nicely. Naga Siren has arrived as the ensnare with the reel in. Kunkka, form to follow. They're actually going to lose this barracks. No, they're going to get the roar off from Miero. Pops the BKB. The snowball very short-lived. There's the roar onto the Viper. Now all the focus onto him. He's dead. Fly. GPK has to be careful. Pops the refraction. Gets the Hurricane Pike off as well. Horn's going to hit a couple of heroes as Fly. Continuing to pursue GPK, but the Song of the Siren will stop him in his tracks and heal his team. Only 2 members of Yakult up, and likely not for long. GPK can keep the distance. They destroy the Kunkka, and Silencer follows suit. All 5 dead for Yakult. They're going to force some buybacks here.
Oh yeah, this is going to cost you multiple ones because of how fast you push with these heroes, Beastmaster and TA. They very quickly start piercing through this. And I mean, brave of Yakult to go for that. Fighting into the Aegis in the enemy team's base.
Radiant's middle tower is under
High risk, high reward.
Buyback number 1.
Yeah, oh,
Through back door.
this is not enough. They're going to
Buyback number 2.
Dyer.
34 seconds for the Storm.
GPK now has his level 25 talent, which is huge on this hero.
Boat coming for Karatage. She's very low, gets off the time lapse in time, and now there's 2 more buybacks coming out from Yakult. Got to Omi with a nice ensnare. Shackle shot. Emo's not going to connect fully. Pops the BKB. Tidal wave onto 2 heroes. Save getting quite low. Now the global available if they need it. The save, the only casualty here for BetBoom. If they can get out with everybody else in this room. Tasty treat for Kata Omi. So they force out several buybacks and only lose 1.
4 buybacks burnt there to get the singular kill on a support. Doesn't get much better than that in an ultra late game situation here for BetBoom. I say ultra late, it's 40 minutes in. It's like nowadays, late game comes earlier. Heroes are starting to be very fat.
Yeah, I think we're in divine territory for the Kunkka. And I don't know if it's just bad memory, Cinderin. I feel like we have not seen the divine win a game for Kunkka. Right? It feels like they're always on the back foot and they just never turn it around. But no other item you can really go for. I mean, the Radiance is losing some of its luster at this point.
Oh, lots of it. Replace it for a Rapier now. He spent his buyback, so he might as well.
Yeah.
I think the Sanjin Yasha is more valuable than the Radiance, so you can just disassemble now. Get that Rapier going. Don't mind seeing that. He might just go for it right now. He got himself an Amplify damage rune in the bottle. Yep, there we go. It's time for the Hail Mary. The Yakult brothers and the dagger.
Tournament lives on the line for Yakult. Remember, this is an extremely important series for them. They lose, they're out.
Should note about the Song of the Siren that you asked about with Roche. I went through Naga's change logs and searched for Roshan. In 2012, fixed Song of the Siren affecting Roshan. So...
are going to combine here. The roar comes out. The global silence as well. BKB in time for Miero. They're going to get the Tusk right off the bat. Kiritich gets the time lapse off in time. Now Fly looking for some sort of connection. A beautiful shot again onto 2 as Beyond getting bounced around like a ping pong ball. He will drop to the deck. Song of the Siren. Uh-oh. Kunkka has left the premises. 2 remaining members of Yakult. Emo has to burn the BKB. He is taking tons of damage despite having all of this zippingness to work with, whatever the hell that means. Gets back to base though. So they have the buyback on the silencer. They can get 3 members at most for Yakult. BetBoom.
They're not going to stop it, right? How can you possibly lose a 5v3 here?
Well, to Kunkka Divine.
Kunkka Divine and Storm, I suppose. Like if you get a little bit of a lucky crit here and there.
He kills some creeps.
They have the banner though.
They do. Now the buildings will melt.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
This is going to go from 0 lanes, 0 barracks taken, I should say, for BetBoom into 3 sets in all likelihood. Fly. Gonna try to focus everything onto the Weaver, but they have enough resources for BetBoom to keep him alive. Second lane evaporating as well. problem is Flyfly can't really get in undetected. We need like a Shadow Blade or a Blink. Well, I guess he does have a Blink with the X. Still, with the refraction on GPK.
Yeah, you just do nothing to the TA.
Okay, it's a big crit onto Kiritich. Time lapses it off, though. Now the Shackle onto the Kunkka. GPK company focusing all their efforts on him. Miero comes in with the Roar and a Divine Rapier on the deck. Save of all heroes. We'll take it. Global Silence to follow. Another double Shackle from Save for the road. As Evo barely gets back to base, that is Mega Creeps in favor of BetBoom. And the Song of the Siren placed. As this is GG for BetBoom. And they're going to be tied for second place, I do believe, as Yakult, unfortunately, had some really entertaining games, had some really good showings, will be